Here we are. We are live for the Season 5 NHL entry draft, the night a lot of people have been waiting for as we welcome some new rookies into the league. We have some great prospects out there that are on the draft board tonight. We have added a fourth round to the draft, so we're looking at 120 players that are going to be having their draft dreams come true tonight in LGHL PSN. Welcome everybody in. I'm Maranaconda. I'm kind of flying solo tonight. Just kind of, I'll have some guests on, but we're going to kind of just go through the draft here. We're going to get some guests on. We're going to go over the draft picks. We're going to see who comes up and, who goes number one overall. A lot of talk's been about Big Yan and a lot of other guys such as tight end killer. A lot of good players looking to go in the top of this draft. A lot of those guys from that Memorial Cup winning Val-d'Or team who just basically got it done in the playoffs. Did an excellent job. They played a great team game. It was fun watching those guys play. And hats off to you, Val-d'Or, for winning the Mem Cup. It's a great job by you and your ownership. As we get going here, we're about 3 minutes from the draft starting. So, we're going to get right into it as far as the draft order goes. The Arizona Coyotes were in the number one draft spot, and we did trade that draft pick and move out of there. And the San Jose Sharks did move up and go to the number one overall pick. So they're picking first in the draft. We'll go through the quick top 10 here for you. They're picking first. The Detroit Red Wings are picking number 2. The Ottawa Senators are picking in the number 3 spot. The Arizona Coyotes picking in the 4 spot. The New York Islanders are in the 5 spot. The Dallas Stars are sitting in 6. The Anaheim Ducks are in 7. The San Jose Sharks are in spot 8. And then rounding out the top 10, Arizona has 2 picks at 9 and 10. A lot of teams with some multiple picks here in the first round. At first glance, I noticed that Arizona, along with Montreal, Anaheim, Dallas has a few here. San Jose has once again set themselves up in the draft here to have quite a few draft picks in this season 5 draft. It's going to be interesting to see who actually does end up going number 1 overall here. As there's a lot of debate, a lot of people talking about who's going to be going where, who's going number 1 overall. But if you ask me, I like this draft. I think there's some good players coming into the league from the CHL this season. There was a lot of, hype about the CHL players this season as there was a lot of great competition and a lot of good teams down there. As we continue to grow and build the CHL, I believe these drafts are just going to continue to get better and better the more teams and the more talent we have down there. If you bear with me here just a minute, guys, I'm going to go ahead and try and get my notifications shut off for let's see here, notifications. Nothing. Sorry about that. If you've been hearing some beeping, that's me. I got some message boards blowing up, but I'm going to be joined in a little bit by Chief from or Mall Cop, who he calls himself now, from the Dallas Stars. The owner of the Dallas Stars will be joining me shortly, and we'll go over some of these draft picks. And we're going to kind of just hang out here and see what goes down. It's going to go fast and furious here as picks are going to come in pretty quick. I would imagine for at least the first round here, possibly the entire draft. We do have 120 picks to go through, and if anybody's wondering, Vihai isn't with me tonight. He is off doing some stuff in St. Louis as he did just relocate, and he's on the job hunt currently, so he's unavailable. He's trying to get back to the house to join me for this big night in LGHL, so he can get on and hopefully recap some of this with me a little bit later on. That is to be determined yet. So as of right now, it seems to be about 8 o'clock. We're at the top of the hour, and the draft should be opening right about now, as I believe the San Jose Sharks should be on the clock, as it is the top of the hour, like I said. And, once my computer decides to load up here, we'll see kind of what we got going on. But in that first pick, we do have the San Jose Sharks once again, as my computer's really thinking hard about it. But we're just kind of in a holding pattern here to see who San Jose picks. It doesn't look as though they've quite opened up the draft yet. As it is 1 after now. Should be getting going here any second. But exciting night. A lot of good players that are coming into the league here. Some very, very good defenders, some good wingers, some top wingers, some VG talent that finally decided to come over and play in LG. And there's some good players in this draft. It's a fairly deep draft. There's going to be, some good players going in the later rounds, I think. That could have an impact right away on their teams, but you never know. It definitely all depends, on the situation they're brought into as well. If they're brought into a successful team that's been doing good, then some of these guys could have a real good shot of doing some great things. But if, they're coming into a team that's rebuilding or a team that's trying to rebuild, it could be a little bit of a stepping stone. So to all the draft picks, I just got to say, don't get discouraged if you come in and you struggle, out of the gates or, anything like that. Don't get discouraged. Just keep plugging away and, see what, just keep grinding away. Work with your teammates, practice as much as you can, and try to get better as much as you can. So we're at 2 minutes after here. I'm not quite sure if they've opened up the draft board yet. My page is kind of stuck in a loading mode here, so it's freezing up pretty bad.
So,
joining me on the phone here is Vihai, who is, incognito over there, wherever he's out there in St. Louis, joining on the phone. But it seems as though we're going here.
Yeah, it's actually you're on the clock, dude. So I'll carry for a second. The first overall pick was tight end killer 55, fresh off a Mem Cup win, going to the San Jose Sharks. What's that?
I said, how much time's left? My screen's frozen.
I don't know. You need to refresh, though. Stokey Yokes, 83, went number 2 to the Detroit Red Wings. And at number 3, Who Are You, went to the Ottawa Senators. I was a little bit interested to see. I haven't been able to get on the site at all, but I checked the draft list and didn't see Big Yan there. So I guess he didn't sign up for the draft today, which is super interesting. I can only be here for a couple minutes, but and there the Arizona Coyotes take Reap, center coming out of the Saginaw Spirit. And then at number 5, you get Vega Ridge, who's a guy people were talking about heavily, who was Big Yan's on Big Yan's team. I don't know if they were line mates or not. But there's your top 5 in the draft going in hot. You back yet?
I'm back. I'm just trying to manage here. Doing this all is a pain in the ass. I had no idea I was on the clock. So thank you for coming on. As my website was frozen, so it's kind of.
Yep. Well, the Islanders picked, so 6. I think you're in 3 more picks. So. Yeah, you're in 3 more picks. There. Okay. So I'll stay on until we get through your picks here to help you out a little bit. I didn't mean to leave you hanging. I didn't even know that. I don't know. My life's in shambles in St. Louis.
Right.
So I don't know. I want to be here on the show as much as I can tonight, but I'm also at the in-laws' house. So yeah.
That sounds really fun. But just
J77 goes to the Dallas Stars at the number 6 pick there. Super interesting how this is playing out already in the top 6. I'm not sure who did or didn't sign up, but definitely never plays out the way people are predicting it's going to play out.
Oh, come on, computer. Jesus Christ. Everything is running extremely slow. I do apologize, as I may be frustrated here, but I can't even get the draft page to open right now, so I'm kind of pissed off. So,
Anaheim is on the clock right now at number 7.
What the fuck?
Then it will be followed by San Jose, then the Coyotes and Coyotes to round out the top 10. So again, at number 6, the Dallas Stars drafted J77. I really wish you could click on the names after they're drafted and go straight to their player profile.
Yeah, it would be a nice little option to have, but it is what it is. Just to go back here and recap here, a guy I wanted to talk about real quick is Reap. He really impressed us with some games that we had played with him recently. Outstanding center. I think he's going to do great things in this league. He's a very solid player. We were able to drop down a few picks and still get our guy. And, I'm extremely excited to bring him into the fold. I think he's going to do really well in the NHL. He's a very patient, very smart player. And on top of the skill that he possesses, he's got a willingness to learn, and he has a great attitude. So it's amazing to add somebody like that to your organization and know that you have him locked up for a couple seasons to come. So welcome to the team, Reap, if you're out there listening, buddy. We're glad to have you. And
at the number 7 pick, the Anaheim Ducks take it, Jodak, who was a left winger. I actually got to see him play. I watched Clarkeskog's stream yesterday and got to see him play a game on right wing, and was actually impressed at the way he played. He's very responsible defensively, moved the puck pretty well. I'm not sure how I didn't get to see much offense out of him because I was just bouncing in and out. What I saw was mostly back-checking defense. He's a very solid winger. If he's got a scoring touch, that could be an extremely dangerous pick for the Ducks, who are in your division. So you're on the clock.
I'm getting like massive delay here on these damn my picks aren't updating, so I'm having to close the screen and open it back up. And I wish kind of our teammates would take a peek, or my teammates for that matter, or my GM would take a peek at my message board here. But I guess we're just going to go with the ones we had talked about. Keep going. No, I'm busy making a pick here. So,
well, I'm interested to see who you're going to pick too. So at the number 8 spot here, the San Jose Sharks took Nardo, a right defenseman. He's a solid defenseman that I didn't see very many people talking about, but I think he's a guy who's a clubber who clubs with a couple of people, maybe in that Anaheim organization, if I'm not mistaken. If it's the guy I'm thinking of, I can't remember. It's hard to keep everybody's names straight. So, but Sharks going defense there at the number 8 spot. And honestly, going back to look at these picks real quick, we're looking at mostly forwards have been taken in the top set of the draft here. Kind of interesting there. And we're just waiting for Arizona to make a pick here.
It is made.
And the Coyotes take N. Lidstrom, right defenseman, who was who did he play for? Is he also the Saginaw Spirit?
He is also the Saginaw Spirit, believe it or not.
Were you drafted that whole team or what this season? What's he doing without?
Definitely not. Those were the 2 guys we had targeted. Really liked them. It just so happened they were on that team. Lidstrom was a guy that we had played a couple games with a while back, and I was really impressed with him. No time to talk here. I gotta figure out another one to take here, boys. So go ahead and carry for me, Jonathan.
Yeah, not even supposed to be on here right now, and I'm still carrying you. Mm-hmm. So N. Lidstrom, a right defenseman taken by Arizona at number 9, who has back-to-back picks here. It's kind of odd to say Arizona is not us. Just weird to say it. Congratulations to Frost for taking GM there, and maybe wish he could make a pick here so I could talk to you for half a second. But waiting here for number 10, we're about to get the 10th pick to come through, and we will round out the top 10 of the first round here. Another thing that happened was for several weeks, I guess LG had been talking about maybe adding a 4th round to the draft, and that's literally what they said. Maybe we're maybe going to add it. We're maybe going to add it, and then boom, 4 hours before the draft or 5 hours before the draft or whatever it was, they add the 4th round to the draft, and then change the draft pick values for the prices of those picks. Now, I find that kind of interesting because people were making a bunch of trades with draft picks based on how much the salaries were at that spot for 2 seasons, and now the 2nd round picks went up $250,000. If someone's banking on 1 or 2 picks to be just inside their cap, and maybe they're 250 over the cap now or something, because that's going to be interesting to watch play out. I can't believe that was just added on draft day, several hours before the draft actually started. No time to plan.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go ahead and just make this pick, and it is what it is.
Okay. Well, let's see it. And at number 10, the Coyotes take Trap King for real, another left defenseman, another defenseman going here. So on a run of defensemen, 3 in a row, 8, 9, and 10 all defensemen here. And I believe for 3, I think pick 2 is maybe a defenseman too. I can't remember. But anyway, going on a run of defensemen after a huge run on forwards here. Interesting the way it's playing out. It's almost clumping together already. How do you feel about your picks?
That last one, I kind of wish I could have gotten a little bit of feedback, as I'm kind of just sitting here by myself. So, I like him. I've never, but I mean, he's a solid player. He came recommended from somebody, and he had a good season. Solid lefty. I kind of wish we could have talked that one over a little bit more, but I guess it is what it is. And hey, Trapp's now a Coyote along with Lidstrom. Welcome to the team, boys. Hopefully you two can possibly get together and be D partners. That's kind of the whole plan there, is to draft a right and a left D and get some partners to play together there. Hopefully they can find some chemistry together and be a lockdown pair for us for a couple of seasons here. That's kind of the plan going forward here. We had another guy that we had our eye on there that is an outstanding player. He is a right defenseman, so it was kind of, it was a toss up there, and we went with the left defenseman. But we're happy to have him. He had a great season for the Barrie Colts. Made it to the finals, and he was part of his crew did pick up a win against Val-d'Or. They did a nice job. He picked up a couple assists in that game, came out a +1 in the takeaway giveaway. Picked up a couple assists. Like I said, he was a -1, but they did win the game. So he helped take his team to the finals in the CHL, and that's really what you want to ask out of. The thing that stands out the most about Trap King for me is the fact that he's a +45. That also tells you that he's doing some good things on the back end, and he played a lot of games this season. From start to finish, he was in the lineup all season long. So back to the draft here.
Yep, I'm going to read off these last couple of picks, and then I got to jump off for a little bit. Again, at number 11, the Dallas Stars took Hydrate 93, who was an outstanding right winger in the CHL this season. Interested to see how that turns out, and what Chief can put back together in Dallas, who were the highest scoring team last season. And then at number 12, the Montreal Canadiens took Noel Stan 12, left winger. So back on the forward train we go here, as Montreal, with their 13th pick, I think is their second of 3 in a row, take Jay Felice 5,
Wow.
a center, who, now that I'm seeing him pop up, I'm surprised that he made it this far down.
Yeah, he was the leading scorer in the CHL this season.
Very interesting.
So
like to know more about that situation, but I'll let you take it from here, man. I'll try and get back on if I can. I'm sorry about this clusterfuck, but
give me just
luck.
a minute. Carrie, for just a minute, would you? I got to go take care of something real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yep. I will continue here for a second. So Montreal grabbing 2 forwards there, getting the number 1 overall scoring forward in the CHL last season. I think 104 points, if I'm not mistaken. Very solid center. I have no idea what kind of player he is. I don't know if he's got any kind of attitude problem, if that's why he fell. I have no idea. Could be a super cool dude. I don't know him at all. So interesting to see. Montreal with their 3rd pick in a row at number 14 goes defense this time. Went left wing, center, then defense. Pick up superstar left defense. That was a guy, I don't remember who he played for. At number 15, the New Jersey Devils took Nav 61 on left wing. That's just coming in right after the Canadiens' 14th spot. So at the 15th spot, the Devils, your defending Cup champion Devils, I should say, take Nav 61, who is another outstanding left winger. That's a guy that I have heard a lot about recently. Who's I think I might have played a game against him a week or two ago, and very tough to play against as a right defenseman with a left winger coming down the ice like Nav 61.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry about that. I am back.
Okay. Well, I got to jump off here, man. Take it away. I got you through 15. All right. Yep. I'll try and get back. I'll be around messaging you too, just in case you need me to step in big time for anything. And you can go ahead and announce this next pick by the Hurricanes. But I'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
Yep, thanks for jumping on here. The next pick by the Hurricanes, I'm still showing that the Montreal hasn't made their 3rd pick yet, so good thing everything's running nice and smooth here. We had some players that surprised a little bit. Some of these guys that slipped down the list. The one that definitely stands out to me is Jay Felice, a guy who led the CHL in scoring. Did a great job for his team. Put up over 100 points this season, goes down to number 13 with Montreal, but Montreal is getting a very solid player there in that position. So I'm sure they're extremely happy that he fell to them. As Carolina goes and picks 31107, who is, he is a St. Louis fan, but no, he's a left wing who played with the Ottawa 67s this season. Was 17-7 on the season, put up 77 points plus 38. That's a good solid pick for them there. 28 games, 86 points plus 39 for his career. So picking up a solid wing for Carolina there. As we continue to move through the draft here, and if I seem a little bit disconnected here, I do apologize, as I'm trying to do several things at once. And as all of you know, when technology doesn't work the way you want it to, it gets to be a little bit frustrating. So, but I'm just kind of multitasking here. I'm going to type a message real quick. All right. It does show that Anaheim is still on the clock on my screen, of course. So I'm going to open another one here, and I'm going to open the draft on that and see if it's actually populated and see if Anaheim has made their pick yet. And they have, as they pick Arsal, the right defenseman from the Memorial Cup winning team. He's a very solid defenseman. I'm kind of shocked to see him go at 17, as he was a very, very solid player in the AHL this season, and has a ring to show. He was part of that Val-d'Or team that won the Memorial Cup. Very, very solid defenseman there for Anaheim. That's a great pickup for them. That's good. Anaheim's got it's Joe Dash so far. They've just picked up Arsal 14 from Val-d'Or. So Anaheim doing a good job with this draft so far. As we move on down the list, and Anaheim is getting back-to-back picks here. They are on the clock again, searching for another player to take. Seems there was a lot of that in the first round, as after this we have Boston coming up back to back, and then we'll have some of the teams that haven't picked yet, like Winnipeg. The New York Rangers will be on the clock. They'll have picks. Colorado coming up at pick 21 and 26. So we're kind of moving through here. So we'll kind of see, as we go here, who gets who. It's going to be interesting to see how far some of these names slide that are still out there. But there's some good players, good depth players in this draft. As we kind of wait for Anaheim to make their pick here, and it hasn't quite come through the shout box, but there's a lot of chatter in the shout box as well. So we're kind of just in a holding pattern. As we wait and wait and wait, we got 2 minutes left on the Anaheim pick. Of course, they may have there. No, my one screen just finally updated the Arsal pick. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season here coming up, as there's a lot of new owners. I believe half of the NHL is under new ownership. And, so it's going to be interesting. This is the first draft for a lot of these owners. So we'll kind of see how they go with their draft boards here to see, what kind of work they did in their scouting and their virtual scouting. So, like I said, half the NHL is under new ownership. There's a lot of new owners out there going through their draft for the first time, which is extremely fun. It's a lot of fun to do this. Of course, that's why we're all here, right? Is to have fun. But these drafts can get stressful. Last year, we didn't have a single pick in the draft. And, we just sat here and talked about the draft the whole time, which was, I think, more frustrating than having to worry about getting picks together and scouting and getting guys going. But, it is fun, though. I'm interested to see how some of these new owners do this season. See what kind of team they build, as we do have some owners, that come in with a good resume. They've had success in lower leagues, and they come to the NHL with a lot of success under their belt. So some of these guys are fairly new to ownership. I think, although most have been GMs or such in other leagues before. So we're kind of waiting. Oh, wait, see, there we go. Anaheim takes X4 Hall, the right winger from Valdor, at the number 18 spot. And then Boston was ready with their picks, boom, boom, right away, as they get Vape Trucci, 87. And they pick up 50 and 50, who's a left defender. And then the Colorado Avalanche go ahead and pick unknown 31 in the 21st spot. So now we have Anaheim back on the clock again, as they ended up with, let's just count them. They have themselves four They have 4 picks in the first round for Anaheim, who's a team who last year kind of fell short of expectations in a lot of people's eyes after having such a solid season in season 3. They came out last year, had a little bit of a rough start, and had a GM have to step down from the league for personal reasons. And then they had some in-house guys step into those roles and take that, and they just kind of seemed to not be able to find their stride as the season continued on. But they were smart with it. They realized at one point, okay, we may not make the playoffs here, so let's load up for next season. And that's exactly what Anaheim has done. And their owner Polska does a great job. He has a competitive, if not excellent, team every season. His AHL squad is always top notch, and they always make the playoffs. So Anaheim definitely knows what they're doing. They did the right thing by loading up for this draft, having 4 picks in the first round here. That's a great job by them as they're getting ready to make their 4th and final pick of the first round here, if they haven't already made it already, but we'll see how it goes here. I think there's a lot of people on the website right now, as it does appear that Xbox is doing their draft right now as well. So not only do we have all these thousands of people on the site right now, but we have both drafts going off simultaneously on Xbox and on PlayStation. So it's kind of seems to be running a little bit slow here, but we'll get through it. I'm kind of having to close the page and basically open it back up and shift another one into that spot to get the most recent, as it's just spinning there. It's not giving me the option to refresh the page. So, moving forward here, Anaheim was on the clock, and I'm sure they've made their pick by now, as have several other teams. As Anaheim goes and picks Sharmop 82, who's a left wing, who's an outstanding player as well, put up a lot of points in the CHL this season. So that's another great pickup for the Anaheim Ducks. And then the Winnipeg Jets make their first selection of the draft here, and they go with a right defenseman, legendary green 4. I don't know too much about him, but the New York Rangers did make a pick as well. They got Zamuth, who is a right wing. So we kind of got some picks coming in fast and furious here as we move on through the draft here. Some of these guys, a guy I'd like to talk about is this Sharmop 82, who I believe is another guy from that cup-winning Val-d'Or team. They're going to have a lot of draft picks in this draft, as a lot of their guys just had outstanding seasons. As they, for Sharmop 82, he was 18-3-1 on the season. He only took 8 penalties on the season. Was in 22 games played, he had 60 points, was a plus 25. Straight got it done in the playoffs. Didn't lose a single game for his team. He was 7-0 in the playoffs. So that's a solid pickup by Anaheim there, picking up another guy from Val-d'Or there. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of them come off the board here, I would imagine. If I had to guess, that's 2 great picks by Anaheim from that team. As we have another pick come in here from the Carolina Hurricanes, who've drafted Burns for Norris, a left defenseman. I heard a lot of good things about him. I had some players talking to me about him as well. Said he's a very solid, more than capable NHL defenseman. He goes to the Carolina Hurricanes in that spot. They pick up a defense, which is something that they could desperately need at the number 28 position in this draft. Carolina getting it done with some picks here in the first round as well. We'll kind of see where we're at on mine. Yep, Burns for Norris. The San Jose Sharks did get boy JP. They got him in the 25 spot. The Colorado Avalanche pick up General 420. And then the Rangers pick up Cam's I-95. And then that leads us up to that number 28 overall pick for the Carolina Hurricanes, and Burns for Norris. Currently right now, the Dallas Stars are on the clock with the Detroit Red Wings to finish up the first round here, as we'll have a couple of picks coming in if they aren't already in, to finish out the first round of the Season 5 NHL entry draft. Some big names off the board in that first round, and some very, very solid players. Like I said, I think this draft is extremely deep. There may not be any, superstars, but hey, you never know. Some of these guys could come in here and get it done. A lot of these guys had great attitudes. It's good to see guys with good attitudes coming into the league and ready to go and ready to make a difference for their team. As we I'm going to pop open my other screen here on my other one, and it does appear as though Dallas is still on the clock. So once Chief makes this pick, I'll probably go ahead and invite him in here to join the show. That way he won't have another pick for a good little bit. So we'll let him get his work done here, and then he'll come on and join the show with me and help me go over some of these picks. But still waiting for him to make his pick, or he may have made it already. We shall see. It doesn't look as though he has. So still kind of waiting. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and let's see. close that. And go back to that. There it is. The Dallas Stars have picked 9 Stamkos 1IC, a center, at the number 29 overall selection. And now the Detroit Red Wings are on the clock for the last pick in the first round, as we're about 30 minutes into it here. And, we've gotten, just to the first round, 30 minutes per round. That's about, where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't get this done and kind of just show this to you as we go here. That's what we're looking at right now in the draft, with Detroit on the clock. As you look over the top picks in the first round, some of these guys as we recap, Tydan Killer, the center for Valdor, going number 1 overall. Outstanding player. I was extremely impressed with him watching game 1 of the Memorial Cup finals on Sunday. He goes number 1 overall to the San Jose Sharks, which I'm sure kind of threw a wrench in some people's spokes, as with a top player like Big Yan not signing up for this season and electing to probably stay in the CHL or just focus on VG. It kind of changed the draft. It changed the outlook of the draft. A lot of people had him going number 1 overall, and it looks as though Detroit has in fact made their pick to finish out the first round here. Detroit goes with Stamkos 91, who is out in. He played for Valdor as well. Go figure. Defenseman for Valdor. Valdor putting some players into the NHL this season. Hats off to their ownership, their managers. For a lot of these guys, they would have had even more players going into the draft if they would have elected not to play this season or whatever it happened to be. But Valdor pumping some players into the NHL this season. He is a left D/right D. Played a lot of right D. He is signed up as a left defenseman, 24 games, 27 points, and a plus 14 for him. So Detroit goes defense to round out the top of the first round. Here we go. We're into the second round now, and they should be starting to come a little quicker here. I'm not exactly sure. Yep, we haven't had a pick yet in the second, but a lot of good players still out there on the draft boards. It'll be interesting to see what we get here, as far as kind of just how this draft is going to fall. As we go back to the draft order and the draft list, it seems to be coming up a little bit quicker at this point. But the New York Rangers are currently on the clock and have not made their selection yet. But we're going to kind of we got to start off the second round here. We have the New York Rangers, followed by the Minnesota Wild, the Ottawa Senators, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the San Jose Sharks, the Carolina Hurricanes, the San Jose Sharks, the New York Rangers, the Winnipeg Jets, and rounding out the top first 10 picks in the second round is the Anaheim Ducks. Anaheim picking up a lot of picks in this draft and really doing a good job here, with their draft. I think so far so good for Anaheim. I'm going to go ahead and go back to me. This is crazy. This is a lot of work by yourself to kind of keep things going here. I'll be inviting Chief in here in just a second as I go ahead and there we go. Joining me in just a few seconds will be the owner of the Dallas Stars, who just made a pick of Stamkos in the 29th spot of the first round. I'll go over here and check him out for you. He is a center who played in the CHL this season, had 23 games played, 82 points, and plus 22, putting up some solid numbers on what team is this? It's a Q team, I'm pretty sure. But played for a Q team. Did a good job playing center for his career here. I'm gonna try and see if I can get this to reload. Nope, I'm gonna have to do that. And that, there we go. Center, he took 3 penalties on the season in his career in the CHL. That's a great job. He's a career face-off percentage of 52.8%, which is a very, he's just over the 50% mark, which is definitely something that you look for. But that's a great pickup by Chief right there. And speaking of which, here he is, the man, the myth, the legend himself. How you feeling about your draft so far, man?
Very, very strong draft, in my opinion. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear.
All right, awesome.
It's just me. It's just you and I, my friend.
Oh, hi, Moran.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, very strong draft, in my opinion. How are you feeling?
Good. Got our 3 top targets, so I was happy about that. Very happy.
Did you? Who did you draft again? Let's take a look.
We picked a Reap at 4 overall, who's a center.
He's good, right?
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
Passed on Vega. What's the thought process?
With Reap?
Yeah, for passing on Vega.
I played a lot of games with Reap recently. The guy's a dynamo in the dot.
I know who that is.
He reminds me a little bit of J-Claws. I mean, that's flat out. I mean, I'm not to put expectations on him or anything, but the way he plays in his own zone, he back checks like an animal. Is
that like Reapers? Does his name used to be Reapers or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but he's a younger guy. He's not an old man like me, but good kid. And another thing that we value in our organization is they gotta be a good person. The kid's got a great head on his shoulders. He's not pushy. He doesn't get upset if you have a bad game or something. He's always positive. So that's a huge plus for me as well.
Yeah, you definitely don't want AIDS on your team like I've had the past 2 seasons.
Right. And you end up making a bunch of trades, right?
Yeah. If that's the Reapers guy that I'm thinking of from VG, then yeah, that's a solid pick.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the same guy or not. It could be. I don't know if he plays VG or not.
I think that is, because I remember him signing up, and I'm pretty sure he went through a name change. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the guy, and if so, yeah, that was a solid pick.
Oh, you know what? He might have. Yeah. I can't remember. I'm
pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Let me look up his thing.
I don't know a whole lot about a lot of these guys. It's tough, man. Yeah. We got 5,000 people in the league now. It's brutal to keep.
Man, this draft was tough.
A big time. There's a lot of good players in this draft. That not to take anything away from last year's draft, but it almost feels like every other year it kind of, you have a little bit of a lull, and then the next season, boom, you have a really deep draft, and then that's just kind of the way it felt for me. And maybe that's because we didn't have any picks last year, and we didn't really, look that heavily at the draft as far as scouting wise. But how do you feel about that?
About the draft?
Yeah, just about the depth of the draft, or maybe the comparison of depth of the draft between last season and this season.
Oh man, it's so different. No disrespect to the people in this draft; they're still good players and whatnot, but you didn't know who was going clear cut number 1.
Right, that's true.
I mean, I didn't think that Titan guy was going to go number 1. I thought Vega was for sure going 1. Here we are. The past couple seasons, you've had PTP or Bone season 2. Last season, you had Skills Pay Bills. So you have the clear number 1s, but right. As the season went, or as the league, I guess, continues, you lose out on that depth from the draft.
Right. Yeah, I can't figure out. Definitely, I would say this year didn't have that clear cut number 1 or number. The clear cut. 1 or 2, maybe even 3 guys that were like, okay, one of those dudes is going number one overall. And a lot of guys,
Mhm.
the guy that a lot of people thought was going to go number one goes number 5. Or, the other, like Big Yan, ended up not even signing up or something. But
yeah, Yan didn't sign up, and like that Getzlaff guy didn't sign up. That that only hurts
the
the
league.
the draft class. But
Right. Yeah. The draft class for sure. Yeah. And that kind of rearranges
I knew
everybody's
Stokey was going to
board.
be top.
Who was that?
Yeah, I knew Stokey Oaks was going to be like top 5.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's who are you is somebody that you could kind of tell was gaining some ground as the CHL wound down there and his team just continued on winning the Memorial Cup. He's somebody you saw gain a lot of steam. So it's interesting, man. This time will tell, I guess. You can never project how players are going to show out in the NHL. I have a feeling, especially with that 4th round getting, what are your thoughts on that, man? The 4th round getting added literally this morning.
I feel like if they were going to do the 4th round, they should have done it when when I guess season 1 or season 2 or at least season 3. I mean, season 4, the draft is so already weak. Like outside of maybe the top 2 rounds, you're not going to get anything else top unless you find some steal.
Right.
And I don't know, the 4th round, I feel it's just unnecessary. I feel like it's going to be a lot of just people going to the AHL.
Going to the AHL, right? Yeah, that's probably going to be the case. But
yeah, I don't pick again until 118. So
no kidding.
Chilling.
Yeah, we got a couple coming up here, and are you having issues with the draft list, man? I'm having to like close stuff and then reopen it for it to populate.
It keeps like refreshing and whatnot on me. So I'm just going with the flow. But no, they're at 37 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have them. You have 42.
Yeah, I mean, luckily my brother like picked up the phone. He like stepped out to the living room or wherever outside at his in-laws' house, and I was like, "Dude, you're on the clock." I was like, "Man, I can't get this. There's no, because it's just sitting there constantly spinning. There's no, I can't hit refresh. It just stops it from loading. I mean, I guess I could hit stop loading this page and then refresh and see what happens. But
yeah, I don't know. Mine just keeps like refreshing itself, and it's staying up top.
There's San Jose's pick. San Jose picks Kingly Me 89, who's a right wing in the number 37 spot. So I believe we're sitting at 38.
You know what? Someone, I'm actually going to put him under the bus because I don't care. Desi D told me to get that guy at 29.
Oh, yeah, Kingly Me?
Yeah. He has decent stats, so that was a solid pickup on San Jose's part.
Yeah, San Jose, another draft here where, I mean, it just seems like every 5 picks they're picking.
Yeah, man, stacking up on the draft picks again. Let's hope they make the playoffs this season.
Yeah, for sure. Let's keep the fingers crossed that maybe they can, use. I mean, they probably. I mean, they had like 13 picks last season, or maybe even more than
so
that.
many last season.
I bet you they're right there this season as well. I mean, I'd be curious to see, kind of where they're sitting with their draft picks. You know what? I'm going to go and look just to see if we can't get a final number on that.
How many they have this season?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's like every other one you got to count.
That's crazy. They definitely stockpile the draft picks. I mean, which means they should have, with as many players as they took last season, as many players as they're taking this season, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 again this season. That's 23 players they're going to draft in the last 2 seasons.
Jesus.
Talk about building through the draft, eh?
I'm curious to see who they drafted last season. I'm on season 2 draft. Let me look up season 3's here.
Yeah, I can't really remember who they took last season. But we do have another pick in here as the New York Rangers go with is that Rev 1S? iRev 1S?
I have no idea who these guys are.
Yeah. I mean, luckily you can click on it and it'll take me right to him. Looks like he played in the CHL. Weird. He has 10 AHL games played. He's a goaltender. He was a goaltender for the Oshawa Generals. 2-1 in his career in the CHL. 72 save percentage, 3.49 goals against. So, yeah. But going back to the San Jose thing, are you looking to see if they? I mean, how many of those guys did they keep on their roster? I mean, they would have probably.
Yeah, I would expect
several guys still on the roster if they didn't, move them out or anything. Who knows what they did if they moved them.
They picked Tarasenko 8th overall, which I have no idea where he is now. But when you think about who they passed up on, like they passed up on J Mars, BBK for sure. Oh man,
God, did J Mars go that late in the draft?
J Mars went 9th. Yeah,
really? Wow,
he went 9th. Blame Buds for getting. Never mind.
Brian Adore-Liz goes to the Winnipeg Jets at the 39th overall pick, and again we have the Anaheim Ducks on the clock. Just they're picking every other pick in this draft too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's tough to comment on these picks because I have no idea who any of these guys are.
Right. Luckily, you can just click on it. I think my brother was talking on his phone. Maybe you couldn't click on it, but looks like he's a right wing. Played for the Bulldogs. It looks. Played some left wing this season. Was 29-2 in his career in the CHL. 31 games, 98 points. He's a 3-point per game player, plus 36. So
yeah, look at
that could be a good pick for them at that point. You never know.
Yeah, he didn't do that bad in the AHL either. He had 13 games played and 39 points.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Was that this season or was that last season?
That was last season.
And play for keeps, or another right wing goes to the Anaheim Ducks in the number 40 spot. So we're getting close to the number 42 pick, and my heart's starting.
Here comes Arizona. Aragota.
Yeah.
Trading number 1 away. You think that was worth it?
Yeah. Yeah, because, we thought that, like you said, we were like, there's not really a number 1 overall in this draft. Mm-hmm. There could be, some of these guys could turn out to be, outstanding players, but in all honesty, we were going to take Reap number 1 overall. So we were like, well, what?
That definitely works.
We can drop down a little bit and, gain another top 10 pick, give up a late first to get two, we have 2 more picks in the top 10. So we were like, why not? I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. If we think our guy is going to make it to 4, we're pretty sure. So, it was kind of like, what the hell? Let's go ahead and pick up that extra top 10 pick. So it really worked out to our favor.
Yeah, that definitely works. So if you were getting Reap on number 1, yeah, that works.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole thought process behind it. Was might as well pick up an extra pick.
Now, I can't tell if this is me or on my end or your end, but you sound like a robot right now. It might be on my end.
Oh, do I?
I want to say it's on my end. I don't see anyone complaining about it in the chat box. So
that's the question. If I sound like a robot, I could be talking like a robot. I mean, I've been talking for 49 minutes straight here, so I need a break.
Well, it just happened, so I'm assuming it's my connection. It's probably going to butt right now. Are you on the clock yet? Arizona on the clock yet?
I don't think so. Looks like there's a minute 45 left for San Jose. At least on my... That's what I'm getting. Hell, we could be on the clock for all I know, as smooth as everything's running for me right now. I think it's just because I have, I'm running the stream through my computer, and the site traffic that's going on right now.
Yeah, they're saying it's your end, so it's probably you sound like a robot.
Okay.
You're a freaking robot.
Yeah, but are they joking or are they serious? Do I really sound like a robot?
I can't tell. Am I kidding?
Somebody give me a serious answer here. I don't really know what to do if I do sound like a robot.
You sound like a robot.
All right, well.
Yeah, maybe it's you. Who knows? Who knows? The show must go on.
The show must go on.
As Aragoda's on the clock, who are they going to get? Oh, Dirty, A1 Dirty South. I don't know who that is, so we're going to go look him up.
He is another boy from the Saginaw Spirit goaltender. Become pretty good friends with him as of late. And, you know, he's one of those guys to where every game I've played with him, he's been basically exactly the same. And, you know, it's kind of blown me away a little bit. You know, he's had a few lapses here and there, but it's like 1 or 2 goals in one game. And then the next game, he's right back to playing the same way again. You know, he does a lot of the right things in my book that a goaltender should do as far as, you know, he trusts his D-man to take away the pass and he plays the shot. You know, and he just keeps his movements low. I love the guy. You know, he's a great goaltender. I'm really happy to get him there.
What were your thoughts on unknown going first round? I personally don't think any goalie should go first round.
No,
but
I don't think a goaltender should ever go first round.
Unless you're like Hans or something, but because I said that in like Clark's stream and I got crap for it. Someone called me an idiot for saying that he shouldn't go first round. I was like, oh, that hurt. Yeah, you do sound like a robot. Trish just said it. I'm assuming he's not trolling.
All right, let's see. What can I do?
I've grown accustomed to it. Morana robot here.
I'm going to have to back out. Yeah, this may or may not disconnect the call here. So if it does, I'll jump it right back up and send you an invite again. So I'm going to leave the call myself.
Gotcha.
Maybe I just...
Oh, it's just me now. Hi. Welcome to Hockey Hotline, featuring Chief here. Yeah. It says we're still live, so this is awkward. Don't know what to do here. Moran, come back. Save me. Help. Someone help. I don't know if the show's still going on, but someone help me. Don't know if I should end it or... Well, all right. Well, the show's still going. Moran, save me. Help. Someone help. I need an adult. Hockey Hotline featuring Chief here. Hi, guys. All right. This is the part where we get down and dirty. We talk shit about everyone. I feel bad for the poor sap that's going to throw 13 mil down on PTP 10. He is a known quitter. Yep, quitter for sure. Can't trust the guy. He quit out of 4 ESHL teams already. Hasn't even started. What else? All right. What else is on our topic list? Didn't realize this would be a stage in the show, but here we are. Who else? Who else can I talk about? Don't know who to talk about here. Someone help me. Someone join the show here. Someone come. Hockey Hotline featuring Chief. Chief's taking over the show. Help. All right. Miranda Conda has left me. I am... Talk about a counterattack. It's the worst owner. Counterattack, you're the worst owner. Colorado sucks. They're not making the playoffs this season either. Put 10 mil down on bone, you bum. Okay, and I don't know what to do, guys. Help. Someone help. Triz, come on the show. Come talk about how LG is a great site and how we should all buy platinum. All right. Well, Marina Conda left me. Okay, and here we are. Let's talk about the draft here. I don't know anyone in this draft. Let's talk about how Ottawa skipped out on Vega Ridge. What were you thinking, Bloop? Hey, Marina! Woo!
Hey.
I'm saved. I'm saved.
Do I still sound like a robot?
No, you're good now. I don't know what to do.
You just gotta sit here going,
All right. The show is back.
We are back, and I have no idea what the hell's going on here. Like that happened.
We were crashing and burning.
Oh yeah, man, that happened, and then I was like, oh shit, we're on the clock. So I was like, oh man, of course, Frosty's answering me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. All right. How about this guy? Nope, he's gone. How about this guy? Nope, he's gone. How about this guy? Nope, he's gone. I'm like, okay, help.
I took the show over, dude. It was all me. I didn't talk much about anyone. I kept it as clean as can be.
Attaboy. I'm not even sure who it is that we picked, to be honest with you. But we're about to see.
Fishy. Yeah. Fishy.
It's Fishy. 25.
All right.
Points a game.
Man, boy, am I happy that you're here.
Yeah, that's how I felt the